Let's talk about how to reverse engineer a heart attack. This is the #1 reason why people die on the planet. Heart attacks. Okay? So I think it's important to reverse engineer this problem and see what you can do to avoid getting this problem. So typically what happens is the artery becomes blocked, and that shuts off blood supply to the heart muscle, and the heart cramps, and you die. Now, if you can go into the future with a heart attack, and let's say you didn't die, but you had a heart attack, you might be reflecting back on your life and saying, gosh, what could I have done differently? Were there any clues to tell me this was coming? Okay, I want to tell you a little story. I had this red truck. It's a pickup truck. It's a piece of crap. And the engine was doing all these different things, and I noticed these lights were going on the dashboard. The engine was getting overheated, all this stuff, right? And I could have just kept driving, but I pulled off to the gas station, and I looked at the engine. I didn't see anything. And I happened to open up the valve where the coolant is, right? There's no antifreeze. So I'm driving this truck without anything to cool it down, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I paid attention to that warning sign and did something about it. So with a heart attack, there's all sorts of warning signs that your body will typically give you, okay? But not all the time, because over 50% of heart attacks, there's no symptoms, okay? So unfortunately, there's not these clues. But when there is clues, that's a good thing. We should not ignore these clues. One of the biggest problems that I see with people is when they go to the doctor, they're covering up these clues with medications. Like, for example, shortness of breath, which could mean that there's a problem with the heart, and then the person gets on a medication called Atrovent to cover up that symptom, right? Problem is still there, but now we don't have the awareness that it's there. Then we have high blood pressure, right? Let's treat that with lisinopril. Cover up the symptom, problem still there, right? But without the awareness. Other symptoms that there's some type of blockage in the heart, especially with the heart muscle, is when you get chest pain when you exercise or go through stress. That's a really big clue. Or you might get weakness when you're climbing upstairs, right? Because you're stressing the heart, which is a pump. It's supposed to push blood to the body to carry oxygen, and if it can't do that, you're going to have problems when you exert yourself, okay? You might have more fatigue when you exercise. All clues that could help you investigate this more and potentially see if there's a problem there so you can then do something about it, okay? Now, with the chest pain, there's going to be either a pain down into the left shoulder, down into the arm, into the jaw, or up through back through here. Okay, so that's one thing you should know. But the most important thing, which is not really emphasized with heart attacks, is that it usually starts with endothelial dysfunction. Okay, what does that mean? It means there's damage on the inside of the arteries, especially the coronary artery on the heart. So that gives us a really good idea of what causes this problem. Some type of oxidation or inflammation on that artery that then creates a cascade of effects of cholesterol building up, protein, calcium deposits, etc. And what's supposed to protect that inside of the artery is vitamin E, very important. Vitamin C, very, very important. And one of the biggest things that will cause the destruction of vitamin E and vitamin C is, you guessed it, glucose and other types of sugars, as well as refined carbohydrates, okay? All those carbohydrates are going to deplete the antioxidants and create this inflammation in your arteries. And so if you're new to my channel, I put a link down below of what you need to do. If you've been watching my channel, this is just another reminder of why you should do healthy keto and intermittent fasting. And so you want to look at symptoms as warning signs, as communications from your body to tell you there's a problem. But symptoms are not the problem. And as you treat these symptoms, realize you must also understand the symptom and do something to actually fix the reason why it's there in the first place. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Hey, before you go, if you're benefiting from any of my content, I would love to hear about your success story. Please share it in the link down below.